Well, I'm just putting the final touches on my table because we're going to make a fabulous jazzy vegetarian menu for you today. So let's get to the kitchen right now.
Jazzy, you're going to be healthy with the jazzy vegetarian. Jazzy, so snazzy. We're going to cook something healthy and light. Jazzy, so snazzy.
So join me in the kitchen right now.
We're gonna cook something healthy and light. That's right.
When you're hosting a soirée for any special occasion, this party menu is certain to please. Crispy Portobello steaks are encrusted in a savory, crunchy coating and feature a meaty texture and mouth-watering taste. And I'm going to pair these mushrooms with delicate spheres of roast asparagus, baked garlic, and baby tomatoes, all cradled in a cloud of delicious maple sweet potatoes. Luscious raspberry parfaits top off this perfect party meal. If you're looking for an inspiring vegetarian meal to prepare, today's show is for you. So please join me. Welcome to our Portobello party menu. This is such a great menu for any elegant party you might be throwing for your friends and family, and it features the very meaty tasting Portobello mushroom, and I just love them. They're so easy to prepare. First, we're going to start with an old standby. My grandmother used to coat her chicken in cornflake crumbs. I decided to make a take on that, and what I've started with is 3 cups of organic cornflakes. Simple as that. That goes right into the blender and all over the table. After you pick up the cornflake crumbs from the table, I've got 1 teaspoon of powdered garlic, and I'm using 1 teaspoon of Italian herbs. Toss those in. And about 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And about 1/4 teaspoon of fresh ground pepper. This is going to make the breading for our crispy Portobello steaks. Now we're going to place it into our blender. And just blend them until they become crumbs. This is going to be the crispy part of our Portobello steaks. There we go. Perfect. So we're just going to pour it all into a mixing bowl. That's absolutely perfect. You see how it's kind of a coarse ground cornflake breading. Let me move my blender out of the way. Beautiful. And what I do to continue finishing off the crispy part of the crispy Portobello steaks is pour in about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. You can just eyeball it because it's not all that important that it's perfect. And see how that's all coming together and the olive oil is adhering to your cornflakes and your garlic and your Italian herbs. I've got to tell you, it's a very simple recipe, but boy, does that smell good. Meanwhile, I've preheated the oven to 400 degrees. Now for the next step. We've got to have something for the Portobello mushrooms to be dipped in. Take some vegan mayo, about 4 tablespoons of vegan mayo. That's beautiful. And then to give it a little taste, 2 teaspoons of Dijon mustard. You're going to mix that all together. And this is what my grandmother used to put on chicken. She'd say, just put mayo on everything, and it makes it nice and brown. And it's just fantastic. Now you're going to see how it comes together. Look at these beautiful Portobello mushrooms. Aren't they pretty? Now, if you've been passing by Portobello mushrooms because you don't know what to do with them or you don't know how to prepare them, that's what I'm here for. Get a mushroom that is not too brown. You don't want too many dark spots. Something like this is just fine and dandy. And how you like to prepare it. You see that stem there? You're just going to grab it with your forefinger and your thumb and pop out that stem. That's how easy that is. I rinsed them very lightly and then I patted them down with a little paper towel. You don't want to submerge them in water. Otherwise, they'll get all mushy. Let me just wash my hands, and then we're going to put our crispy Portobello steaks together. All right, I've got just simply a cookie sheet covered in some parchment baking paper so that the mushrooms don't stick to it. And first we're going to dress up the bottom of the mushroom. I'm just going to show you right here on this plate. So just drizzle it with a little low sodium tamari and give the bottom of it some very nice taste. And then you're going to put about a half teaspoon of olive oil. Then you're going to roll up your sleeves. Let me take my ring off because this is messy business. First, you take it and you just dip it in your mayo mixture. Now let me get a plate to help me out here. Turn it around and spread it around. You see how that's taking place of the egg? It almost looks like you're covering it in egg. So that works perfectly. Now my hands are all messy. You're just going to encrust the top of this mushroom with this crispy, crispy crust. Look how pretty that is already. There, that one's all ready. Let me do one more for you. Start a little bit with that low sodium tamari. Drip it over the bottom. If you don't have tamari, you can just use a little sea salt, just something to flavor the bottom of it. The tamari is really nice because it soaks into the mushroom, gives you a little bit of an extra special taste. All right, we've got that. Now you're just going to dip it right into your mayo mixture again. Then take your hands, this is the messy part of it, spread it all over the top so there's something for that beautiful crust to adhere to. Hands are already all messy anyway, so what does it matter? And take some of this beautiful crispy stuffing and put that over the top. That's my second one. And as you can see, I've got 3 huge portobello mushrooms tonight, and that's what I'm going to get out of this. This recipe usually makes 4. The mushrooms aren't usually this big, so this is for either 3 huge portobello mushrooms, like I have today, or 4 medium-sized portobello mushrooms. So there we go. Oh my gosh, doesn't that look pretty already? Pat that crust down so it really adheres. And when we cradle it in our delicious maple sweet potatoes, my favorite, and pair it with the asparagus, this is a meal that you are just going to love to serve over and over again. Finish it off by tenting it with some aluminum foil, just kind of loosely over there. And I'm going to let it go for about 20 minutes in the 400-degree oven. And then I'm going to take the foil off, and I'm going to allow them to cook until the mushrooms are nice and soft, but they're going to be nice and crispy on top. And now we're on to my fabulous maple sweet potatoes. I'm very excited to make my maple sweet potatoes for you. But we're starting here with 3 medium-sized organic sweet potatoes. And as you can see, I'm just peeling them for this dish. When I bake a sweet potato, of course, I leave the peel on. I like to wrap it in foil, put it in the oven at 400, for about an hour. So tasty. And that's when I love to eat the skin of a sweet potato. Of course, when you bake a sweet potato, make sure you make a little slice in it first so that it doesn't burst. That's a little tip. All right, we're going to put our peels aside. We're going to steam our sweet potatoes here today. Now we're going to mash these potatoes today. So as you can see, I'm rough chopping it into basically all the same size. And I've got my steamer going here, and you're going to get your water boiling and get ready to steam your sweet potatoes. These are going to steam for about 20 to 25 minutes. This is also a great dish for holiday time. If you don't want to make candied sweet potatoes and have all that extra sugar. So there we are. Beautiful. And the other thing I did want to just point out, there are sweet potatoes and there are yams. They're all absolutely delicious and they're all sweet. So as my sweet potatoes steam, we are going to go on to my delicious roast asparagus with my baked garlic and baby tomatoes. Now, while I've got my crispy portobello mushrooms in the oven cooking, and I'm really smelling them, they're starting to sizzle now, and I've got my sweet potatoes steaming here, ready for my maple sweet potatoes. We're going to start putting together our roast asparagus with our baked garlic and baby tomatoes. And this is just so wonderful. First, we're going to smash 2 cloves of garlic. And we're going to just slice the garlic very thinly and then just chop them up into little pieces. This dish is very, very rustic. Put them in a little mixing bowl. Boy, I smell that garlic. Woo, that is fresh. We're going to bake this garlic. So what we're going to do here is, you can see, I'm putting on about a teaspoon or so of olive oil. Put them in your tin foil like that, and then just make a little pocket with it, fold it up, fold up the edges. That's all there is to it. And we're going to pop it in the oven next to our portobello steaks. Oh boy, those are getting nice and crispy now. It's about time to take those out in a few minutes. I can smell it. Now, here is our asparagus. We're starting with 1 bunch of asparagus. And of course, you take your spear and break off the tough end of it, and that's how you prep it, wash it, and that's what I've done now. So I'm going to dump that into my mixing bowl. We've prepped about 12 baby tomatoes. These are going to go on the last couple of minutes, so we're just going to set those aside. And we're going to toss this asparagus with a little bit of olive oil and about a 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt. And if you like it, a little bit of fresh ground pepper. This is how simple it is. Now we're going to let that garlic bake for 15 minutes. But meanwhile, I'm going to prep my asparagus. Let me get my cookie sheet. You prepare a cookie sheet like this with some parchment baking paper. Now just take your asparagus with your hands is the best way to do it, and toss it in that beautiful olive oil. Just toss it all around until you can feel that all the spears are evenly coated with the olive oil. And then you just want to arrange them on your cookie sheet. And they're just going to sit here in the olive oil at room temperature for that 15 minutes while your garlic bakes. We have the oven at 400 because we've also got our crispy portobellos in there. I can smell the mushrooms. I know they're done. I'm going to grab them, take them out. Woo! Perfect timing, because they should sit at room temperature for a little bit before you cut them so they kind of firm up. But look how beautiful they are. And they're all crusty on top. They're going to be so delicious. Let me set them aside to cool down, and we're going to get ready to mash our sweet potatoes. Here's my green entertaining tip of the day. There's no need to rush out and buy new dinnerware every time you're going to have guests over. Consider recycling, reusing, or repurposing items that you might find at your flea market or your thrift shop, or that have been passed down from generations. In particular, these beautiful stemware glasses. They belong to my great-grandmother, and I use them just about every time I'm entertaining. They're great for water, great for wine. And if you don't have something like this, just check out your local flea market, and you're sure to find something that's sure to please. So that's green entertaining. Well, let's get back to cooking our meal. I think my sweet potatoes are perfectly done. Test them with a fork. If it goes in easily like this is, they are ready to mash. And this meal is really coming together quickly now. Set that aside. All right, so what I'm going to start here with is about a tablespoon of the vegan margarine. It's really to taste. And about a tablespoon of maple syrup. We're We're going to have kind of a mapley taste going through this meal. You'll see what I mean when I put the dessert together. Delicious. And pumpkin pie spice. Instead of using cinnamon, about 1/4 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice makes these maple sweet potatoes oh so delectable. Love that smell. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And that's the whole thing. Now these are very dense sweet potatoes today. I'm going to add about another tablespoon of the vegan margarine. So today we've got 2 tablespoons of the vegan margarine, a tablespoon of the maple syrup, and pumpkin pie spice. It smells like holiday time. It smells like pumpkin pie, which is what really makes these potatoes so tasty. That's the whole thing. And we're going to get our asparagus going, and then we're going to make our delicious raspberry parfaits. Time to get my asparagus in the oven. It's all here. It's glistening in this olive oil. Perfect. I've had my little pieces of garlic baking for just about 15 minutes. Woo, that's hot. And now that's going to make it perfect to add to the top. Just kind of drizzle it all over the top of this asparagus that we're just getting ready to roast. And we're going to put this in the oven for 5 to 10 minutes. It really depends on how you like your asparagus. So let's put that in now. Watch them, and after 5 to 7 minutes, you're going to add the baby tomatoes and then just roast the asparagus until it's still firm, and then it's going to be perfect. And while that is roasting, just 5 minutes to make our fabulous raspberry parfaits. Now for our creamy tasting raspberry parfaits. I've used organic frozen raspberries. Now you can buy them frozen or you can buy them fresh and then freeze them for this dish. And we're going to use about 2 1/4 cups all together. Take 8 ounces of soft tofu. This is what's going to give you that creamy texture. Just plop that tofu in there. And then we're going to start with about 2 cups of raspberries. We're going to save a few of them to put in the bottom and the top of our dish. Then we're going to put in 3 tablespoons of maple syrup. Make it oh so good. 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract. That's it. We're going to blend it up till it's creamy and it's going to turn this beautiful pink color. Here we go. That is perfect. Whoa, look at that. Isn't that a beautiful color? And I'm going to show you how we dress it up. I use little champagne glasses for this. Such a pretty way to display this beautiful, beautiful dessert. Just pour it. Beautiful. The second one. This makes actually 3 parfaits. So if you want to make more, just double the recipe and you'll get 6 for a party of 6. There we go. And then one of these beautiful little raspberries right there on the top. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Jazzy Vegetarian Raspberry Parfait. I can't wait to taste it, so I'm just going to take a little taste right now. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. Heavenly. You'd never know there wasn't cream I'm going to take my asparagus out of the oven. I'm going to plate this Portobello party menu up for you now. Stick around. Here is my beautiful dinner all plated up. My crispy Portobello steak. Doesn't that look appetizing? My maple sweet potatoes. And my beautiful glistening roast asparagus with baked garlic and baby tomatoes. Now it's time to taste. Oh, it's so crispy on the outside, so tender on the inside. I'm gonna take a bite. That is fabulous. One more bite. So robust, so hearty. You can taste a tiny bit of that mustard and those crispy cornflakes with the garlic. Really good. And maple sweet potatoes. Perfect. Like heaven. So sweet. A little bit of that spice in there makes it a little spicy, and it really complements the taste of this crispy Portobello steak. And let me just try this wonderful roast asparagus. What the heck? Perfectly done. A little bit crispy, but done all the way through. That's what you want. That is absolutely jazzalicious. Well, I want to thank you for joining me today. I had a fabulous time preparing my Portobello party menu, and I do hope the next time that you host an elegant soirée, you'll think about this fantastic, delicious menu. So until next time, be well.
Visit our website at jazzyvegetarian.com to connect with Laura, see videos, find your favorite recipes, and more. Follow Laura on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Jazzy Vegetarian, lively vegan cuisine that's easy and delicious, includes all the recipes from this season and is available for $26.95. This 10th anniversary edition companion cookbook features full-color photos, menu plans, and over 120 recipes. For information or to order, visit jazzyvegetarian.com.
Next time on Jazzy Vegetarian, I'll prepare my dazzling chocolate desserts featuring luscious triple chocolate brownies, delectable chocolate pot de creme, and scrumptious chocolate chip banana muffins. And to round out this dazzling dessert lineup, my chocolate truffle trio. Please join me.